Welcome to the Conference Connection, your go-to place to get the scoop on what conferences are coming up that you need to know about. Here are your hosts, Paul Faust, president of Ring Boost, and Seth Price, founder of BluShark Digital and managing partner of Price Benowitz.
How you doing, guys? Paul Faust here again, ringboost.com. As always, with my partner, Seth Price from BluShark and Price Benowitz. And today we have a very special guest on, but I'm going to let Seth introduce our guest.
Well, we got Craig Goldenfarb, who has put together a program. It's an annual program at this point, although there's rumors this could be the very last one. So get in or don't. I think the 10X people are doing the same thing right now. It puts butts in seats. But Craig has built a firm in South Florida with systems and processes and building out divisions. And he takes a day a year to basically open the kimono and show people exactly how he does what he does. Is that a fair representation, Craig, of what we have to expect?
It is. Don't expect too much from under the kimono, but absolutely, that is what I do. So my seminar is called the 7-Figure Attorney Summit, and I've done it for about 8 years. And it is one day. This year, it's actually a day and a half because we're adding another half day on Friday morning. And if you want to learn how to cross-examine someone or how to do a closing argument, please don't come, because this has nothing to do with being a lawyer. This is teaching you the business skills of how to run your law firm with adequate or hopefully more than adequate business skills. So in law school, of course, anybody listening to this or anybody knows that they don't teach you anything about business in law school. And when you first do your first payroll or pay your first bill, you don't even know how to do that. So I've spent the last 20 or so years really focusing my life on the business aspects of running a law firm. And to a lot of people's surprise, I have not touched a case in 15 years. So I don't even consider myself a practicing attorney, even though I was a trial attorney for 10 years. So the seminar is in Orlando. It's between April 23rd and April 25th of 2025. It's at the Wyndham Resort, beautiful hotel. The website is 7figureattorney.com. That's how you register. And the price is $1,499. But let me tell you, more importantly than all the details is what you're going to get and what I talk about. So it's the only seminar I know of where all or almost all of the speakers are from the same law firm. So most seminars are, different experts in different areas, but I like to give kind of an under the hood look at one law firm and different departments and all of the information is kind of linked together from the different speakers because we're all working under the same roof. So I speak for a few different sessions on KPIs, which are key performance indicators, and on how you compensate your lawyers and your staff, and how you do a budget, and all kinds of things that nobody ever really taught you. And those are the things that I'm going to teach you how to do in my portions of the speech, and also how to build a different mindset, because we all have a mindset as an attorney, and you really have to shift your mindset in a lot of ways in order to run a business. There are different skill sets, etc.
Well, Craig, one of the things I like, that I would say, is that what I like about the conference, and I've been to it several times, is that it's not just meant for owners, and that I've actually brought team members there who are responsible one step down from ownership and putting things together. And I think they got a lot out of watching how you guys have done things. It may not be for everybody, but the idea is you can take pieces of that and bring it back, or take an entire division and say, hey, I want to replicate this. And it gives you an avatar to work towards.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we encourage people to bring what I call your second in command, because we go to these seminars as CEOs and we come back with like 50 great ideas and we overwhelm our staff and nothing gets done. But if you bring your second in command, or if you bring your marketing director, or if you bring your chief operating officer or your office manager, they're the ones who are going to be impacted, and they're the ones who are probably going to implement half of what you learn anyway. So Seth brings up a good point. We do give a discount for the second person and a discount for the third person. So, bring the people who are actually going to execute the plan. Because when I go to seminars myself, I come back with so much stuff and it just scares the crap out of everybody back in my office.
Well, and that's one of the things I've been muzzled on. And I think that as you have implemented EOS, making sure that you filter things in through quarterly rocks and don't just pull the fire alarm when you come home and say, hey, Craig's doing it this way, I got to start doing it this way tomorrow. Because as Paul knows we get all sorts of ideas, shiny objects, and making sure that what you have there, is it one of those things that will move you for the next quarter versus, hey, is this something we're going to prioritize further down the year, et cetera. And so what I love is there's so many great ideas that come out of it that you really do have to be disciplined so that you don't upset the apple cart back at home.
Craig, and the other thing I want to ask you, at least you could mention, because a lot of the people who listen to the Conference Connection, who come on, who follow us, also happen to be industry service providers and vendors. Are there any sponsorship opportunities, booth opportunities? Are there any other opportunities that someone can reach out if they would like to exhibit or sponsor your events? We want to let people know about that too.
I think we do have sponsorship opportunities. We have room for about 14. I think we have 12 of them filled.
Okay.
If you want to inquire, go to the website. There's an info at email, and it'll get right to the person who handles the sponsorships. So 7figureattorney.com, again, is the URL. And there's an email address on there to inquire. And one thing I kind of like and take pride in about the conference is that although we have sponsors there and we really appreciate our sponsors, we don't have a second tier of payment for sponsors talking. So they don't actually get to come up on stage, which the sponsors don't always love, but they get plenty of exposure. And the price is pretty low for sponsors. And we do that on purpose because we want the interaction with the sponsors to be at their booths. We don't want to waste valuable stage time, not waste, but we don't want to spend valuable stage time with the sponsors, even though we value their participation.
Yep.
And let me go back to something Seth said, which is really cool. So Seth mentioned that we go back and the implementation of these ideas is a challenge. So we added a second day, a morning, Friday morning, April 25th, where an EOS implementer named Sarah Frasca from Point Northeast is going to actually take you through exercises in an implementation plan. So she's going to take you through her excellent skills as an organizer to say, hey, you just have a list of 80 things from yesterday to do. How do we start a plan? What is our strategy? What's our rollout within or outside of the EOS structure as to a timeline and implementation strategy? So we brought her in especially for that difficult part, as Seth mentioned, and I think it's going to be really helpful for the attendees.
So, guys, there you have it. Another great event put on by someone who is successful in the industry and has done this. His team has done it. Check it out. And as always, if you have an event coming up, please let Seth or I know what your event is. We'd love to have you on. This is a resource. Please tell your attorney friends and industry service providers to like the page, follow the page. We want this to be a resource for everyone to know where to go, where to learn, and where to grow. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Conference Connection. Make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you for our next episode.